Let's begin by reading through the problem and highlighting important information. Simple interest is given by the formula A equals P plus PRT, where A is the balance of the account after T years, and P is the starting principal invested at an annual percentage rate of R expressed as a decimal. So this first sentence or two tells us the formula we're going to be using and what each of the letters represent and how we should represent them. Now we're going to read the problem. So Kyle is investing money into a savings account that pays 2% simple interest and plans to leave it in there for 20 years. Now I see the word determine. I'm going to switch to green because this is going to be our goal, what we're going to find. Determine what Kyle needs to deposit now in order to have a balance of $20,000 in his savings account after 20 years. And notice I switched this to yellow because they gave us some new information. This is a given, not a goal, because they hadn't given us the balance, the future balance in the previous sentences. So let's write out this formula. A equals P plus PRT. And let's determine each of these letters, whether they're given, and if they're given, what those values are, and what our goal is. So I'm going to start with A, and A represents the balance of the account after T years. So you can think of that as the future amount, how much you'll have after the investment time has passed. And notice here it said determine what Kyle needs to deposit now in order to have a balance of $20,000 after 20 years. So this is going to be that future amount we're looking for. So 20,000. Now the next letter is P, and P represents the starting principal. And remember, they asked us to find determine what Kyle needs to deposit now, so that would be the starting principal. So P is actually our unknown. That's what we're trying to find. Next we have the small letter R, and R represents the annual percentage rate expressed as a decimal. So here they gave us 2% simple interest, so 2% is the annual percentage rate, and as a decimal we'd write that as 0.02. So 2% means 2 per 100, or 2 hundredths, which is a 2 in the hundredths place. Now T represents the time of the investment in years. And we are told right here that he's going to invest for 20 years. So now let's rewrite the formula and fill in all of the values we know. So we have A equals P plus PRT. A we're going to replace with 20,000. P is unknown, so I'm just going to keep it as P. Keep this as P. Now notice PRT, there's implied multiplication here because they're all right next to each other. So R is 0.02. I'm going to put that in parentheses to show the multiplication. And T is 20. So we want to solve this equation for P. And notice now we have two terms that have P's in them. This is a P, and this is P times some amount. So first let's see what this amount is. So these are actually like terms. If you had 2x and 3x, you could add the 2 and the 3 together. Here this is 1p, we just don't write the 1. And here, whatever this product is, that's how many, that's going to be the coefficient of the p here. So let's use the calculator to find that. So we have 0.02 times 20, which is 0.4. So let's rewrite this on a new line. 20,000 equals 1p plus 0.4 p. So now we want to combine 1p plus 0.4p, and we can just add the coefficients. 1 plus 0.4, that's going to be 1.4. If you're not sure, you can add the 1 plus 0.4 gives you 1.4. So we have 20,000 equals 1.4 p. Now our last step is we want to find what 1p is, and this is 1.4 p, or in percentage terms you could think of this as 140% p. So to find 1p or 100% p, we want to undo the fact that these are multiplied by dividing. So we'll divide both sides by 1.4. These cancel. I'm going to write p on the left-hand side, and p is going to equal 20,000 divided by 1.4. So let's compute that. And I'm going to write this to the nearest cent, and then we'll look at the directions to see how they want us to round it. So 14,285.71. 14,285.71. So now I'm going to look at the directions. Kyle will have to invest blank dollars now in order to have this balance. That's what we just solved for, and it said round your answer to the nearest dollar. So the ones place is the dollars place. So this is a 7. 71 cents would round up to $14,286.